Hi, and welcome to the video for section 1.10 for Math 126. This is the first of 3 videos. You didn't miss section 9, we just aren't covering that section. So this is right, if you were just on 1.8 and now you're going to 1.10, you're on track here still. I'm going to be honest with you, if I wrote this book, this probably would have been section 1.8, and section 1.8 would have now been section 1.10, because in this section, you're going to be given and using formulas that we were using back in section 1.8. So like point slope formula, how to find the slope of a line. So it's sort of like they expected you to come in knowing that, and now they're going to present it again and do some examples with it. But again, I'm not the author, I'm just the instructor. So we're going to sort of follow along, and maybe what I'll even do is maybe I'll reverse how you guys watch them or something so that you're a little more comfortable with it. But anyway, section 1.10 is all about lines. So first, definition, slope of a line. So the slope, which we denote M, of a non-vertical line that passes through points the points x1, y1, and x2, y2 is given by this formula. So you're going to want this on your cheat sheet or quick reference sheet so you can go back to it. It's rise over run, which is our change. This triangle indicates change. So change in y over change in x. Don't really have to know that. It's sort of just a description of what slope is. The formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's what you want. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It says here non-vertical line because a vertical line is what? The x value doesn't change. So whatever, if it was 2 and 2, you'd have 2 minus 2 is 0. We get 0 in the denominator, so that means what? That means the slope of a vertical line is undefined. So you'll get some problems like this. What's the slope of a horizontal line? You have to know that. What's the slope of a vertical line? Undefined. Next formula we have, or next equation, is what's known as the slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form of an equation of a line. And that's given by the following formula. Y equals mx plus b. So if you have an equation written y equals something x plus some plus or minus number, this m goes back to that. That's our slope. This b is our y-intercept. And the y-intercept, remember, has what? It has x value is 0, so the y value would be that of b. So i.e., if I have some equation, y equals 3x minus 4, the slope is equal to 3, and the y-intercept is equal to 0, negative 4. Whatever number I see, that goes into my ordered pair for the y-intercept. And once I know that, I can plot the y-intercept, move according to the slope, and graph the line just by connecting the dots, so I won't have to plot points anymore as we first learned to do with graphing of lines. And then third is what's known as the point slope formula. And that says that an equation of a line that passes through the point x1, y1 with slope m can be found by y minus that point y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So if I have a point that's on a line somewhere, and if I have the slope of that line, I can figure out the equation of that line by plugging in that information, move the pieces around, and I can get it into slope-intercept form if that's what's required of me. So let's look at a couple examples here. So find the equation of the line in slope-intercept form with slope -1/2 that goes through the point 1, -3. So I have a point and I have the slope, so I'm going to use what? Point slope formula. So I have what? Y minus y1. Well, y1 is -3, so y minus -3. So be careful with your signs here. Equals m, my slope, which is -1/2. X minus x1, which is +1. Go ahead and simplify this. So we have what? Y minus a -3 is like y plus 3 equals, distribute this -1/2, so I get -1/2 x. Negative times negative is positive. 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. Now I need to subtract 3 from both sides. Well, I have a fraction of 1/2. So that means what? I need to convert 3 to a fraction that has 2 as its denominator, so that would be what? That's -6/2. So the left side, the 3's are gone. I get y equals -1/2 x. 1/2 minus 6/2. So 1 minus 6 is -5 all over 2. So in slope-intercept form, that's my answer. Means what? My slope is -1/2, which we were told in the problem, and the y-intercept is at 0, -5/2. Second example. So if you need to pause and kind of follow back through on that, that's fine. Second example, I want to find the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that goes through the points -1, 2 and 3, -4. So in this case, they don't give us the slope. They were nice in this problem. They said, hey, the slope is here and it's going through this point. So then we just use point slope formula. In this one, we need to first figure out the slope, then we can use point slope formula. So to be careful here, to make sure I don't make a mistake, I'm going to label these guys x1, y1, x2, y2. And you could have switched them. There's no mandatory reason why I called this one 1 and 2. It's just what I did. When I do the formula, it's what? y2, which is negative 4, minus y1, which is 2, all over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is negative 1. And again, because we're dealing with minus signs, be careful with your numbers. Put them in parentheses if you have to make sure you don't make a dumb mistake with the signs. So the numerator, negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. 3 minus a negative 1, negative minus negative is like positive, so 3 plus 1 is 4. Simplify this, if I divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2, I get negative 3/2. So now I can use point slope formula. I have the slope, I actually have 2 points. And you can pick whichever one you want. So because I called this one x1, y1, I'll just use that. But you could have used 3, negative 4. It doesn't matter which one you choose. So we have what? Y minus y1, which is 2, equals m, the slope, negative 3/2 times x minus x1, which is negative 1. So this guy is really like x plus 1 on the inside here. So I get what? Y minus 2, distribute this negative 3/2 as minus 3/2 x, negative times positive is negative, 3/2 times 1 is 3/2. So now add 2 to both sides. Well, I need the denominator as a 2. So that means what? This is like I'm really adding 4/2 to both sides. And when I do that, I get y equals negative 3/2 x. Negative 3 plus 4 is plus 1. So your answer should be negative 3/2 x plus 1/2. And again, if I went a little fast on something, if it didn't make sense where a number came from and you want to follow it back, go ahead and hit pause, rewind if you need to. Otherwise, the last thing from video 1 has to do with vertical and horizontal lines. And we already talked about vertical a little bit. So first, as we mentioned before, a vertical line so that has an equation x equals a. So for example, if I have the equation x equals negative 2, that's a vertical line going through negative 2, right? Because if y is 0, x is negative 2. If y is 4, x is negative 2. If y is negative 8, x is negative 2. So it gives me a vertical line going through the point negative 2, 0. So when I have the equation x equals any value a, it's a vertical line that goes through that point A. And the slope, as I mentioned earlier, is undefined. A horizontal line has the equation y equals b So now let's say I have y equals positive 3. So when x is 0, y is 3. When x is 10, y is 3. When x is -4, y is 3. No matter what value I pick for x, y is always 3, which gives me this horizontal line going through the point 0, 3, or 0b, whatever my value of b might be. The slope is what? So remember, what is slope? Rise over run, or change in y over change in x. So when I move left or right, how much does the slope go up or down? It goes up 0. So my slope for a horizontal line is 0. Now, is there a way you can remember this? You had to have these on your cheat sheet for the in-class exams, but what about the final? You don't get a cheat sheet, so you got to start coming up with little tricks. Well, the only trick I could maybe suggest is that what? Horizontal has an O in the word. O is like 0, so horizontal, O, 0, slope is 0. No O in vertical, so vertical is not 0. Vertical is the other one, which would be undefined. And again, it's just these little tricks like, all right, I need to wait. I'm going to be given a lot of information this semester, 45 sections of information. How can I start coming up with tricks for these guys? That's about the only trick I would give you. So come on back. That wraps up video 1. Come back and we'll look at the general equation of a line in video 2.